Natalie says, what you do when you are almost over your ex? Jubilate. You're not angry with them, you feel disappointed and empty. I think that being angry with them helps me to move forward and active toward my goals. Is it normal? Female 31. Of course it is normal, because you always take a breakup personal. You don't have to, but that is what we do. We think it's a direct reflection to us. Like, I wasn't good enough. I was bad. I didn't measure up. Because all through our lives, we've been conditioned that unless we're compared and get favorable result and review, we don't measure up. We're not good enough. All through our lives, we've been faced with facial expressions, words, emotions, and attentions, which makes us feel worthy, accepted, good or bad. And usually when we do something good, something is given to us. When we're a child, a candy or pat on the back or hug or smile. And if they were not pleased with us, not that we did anything wrong maybe, but it wasn't the way they wanted us to behave, and we were frowned upon or not paid attention to or kind of ignored maybe, or maybe not given the candy that we hoped to get or the favor that we asked, the ice cream or whatever, or the smile. And so we learned we did something bad by those reactions. So when we got something, we felt approved. When we lost something, whether it was the emotion, attention, the smile, or the candy, we felt we've been bad. We did something bad. So when in a relationship, when two people get together, they feel so happy, they attend to each other, pay attention to each other, and all that represents that you're good, you've done good, you've been approved, and they're happy with you, so you feel good that you're good. But when they leave, it's just something taken away from you, denied you, which is the same as that candy, that smile, that hug, that not being paid attention to, ignored or abandoned in a way for that moment. We remember that and we think, okay, this person left us. That means I am not good anymore. I'm bad. So it is not that we really have become better or bad when we are in a relationship or broken up. It is the conditioning that makes us feel this way, because this is supposed to trigger that kind of a perception and that kind of a feeling and interaction that you received when you were a child, because you're conditioned to take it as given to you, I'm good, taken away, diminished something, I'm bad. So the feeling you have, the anger, is not about you find that person responsible to give you a feeling that makes you feel bad. And you're angry of that because all you care about is to be good, to feel good about yourself. And that behavior of taking away something, the relationship away, makes you feel like you've done something bad because you're being denied of an approval. And that's what makes you angry. Otherwise, why can't you be angry at the guy? I mean, who gives a shit? The guy left. Good riddance. Go away. Why do you want to be with someone who actually doesn't want to be with you, or someone who doesn't pay enough attention to you, or someone is not happy to be with you and actually chooses to leave? Why do you want to be with someone or find someone qualified who actually wants to leave? The heck with him. Wants to leave. You want somebody who wants to stay. So if he does that, that's not a reflection on you. That's his inability to commit, inability to enjoy, inability to benefit or understand or appreciate your qualities. His shortcoming, inability of him, not you. But you have turned it into, if it's something wrong with you because of his action, which triggers what you have been conditioned to think and feel since childhood in such conditions. Denied, taken away, then I am bad. You always thought it's their actions represents, interprets your quality, how you should feel, how you are. It's their actions. Why would it mean you're bad? You did something against what they wanted you to do. So they're feeling that you didn't comply to what they wanted you to do, but you didn't want to do that. So there was nothing bad about you. You didn't think that I'm going to stick this to his side or to his face and scratch him with this needle, or scratch his or mom's face or dad's face or whatever. You didn't feel like that. That makes you bad. But you didn't feel like that. You felt you were bad because you didn't comply to what they expect you to comply as, and their reaction towards what you did or did not do makes you feel the way you felt, good or bad. That wasn't the reflection, but because you're conditioned that way, now this time that this guy leaves you, you think that's an indication for you to be bad. Something wrong with you. You're angry that you tarnished the image you had of yourself, of you in your own mind, and this action of the guy has tarnished that image because you don't feel that image is beautiful, is good. You feel that image is tarnished. Therefore, that makes you feel you're not good enough anymore. That changes your understanding of yourself. That's why you're angry. So you are angry at him because of he interfered with the image you had of yourself in your mind. But that's your image and it's your mind. You can change your image any way you like. Think about yourself any way you want. And nothing can make you feel bad just because they make a reaction. That doesn't change you in any shape or form. It just changes the feeling you have about yourself because of the conditionings that you have been receiving. But in reality, you didn't turn out bad. You didn't become bad. Nothing was diminished from you. You're still as wonderful as ever. Mind and body and physics and looks and everything and intelligence and everything else. But you don't see it that way. You think you should only focus on the fact that you're supposed to react in this kind of a manner and feeling and emotions because you're conditioned to react in this way when something is taken away from you. Now, if you think that way, you will see who's the guy to make you feel angry or bad. You don't have to, because you're still the same wonderful person as you've always been. Hope that will give you something to think about. And Sophie says, I still hold on to the hope that we'll start talking again because I miss him as a friend as well. But at the same time, my pride is hurt and wish I had cut him off. I'm being selfish. No, you're not being selfish. That's all right. The guy, doesn't pay attention to you. He doesn't deserve to be hanging around with you. Look, unless it's a cordial, honest relationship and mutually fulfilling and positive, guys at the age 22, like from age 18, 19, 20, they're just beside themselves. They're romantic for their girlfriend. They love her because she's the world to them. It's the first time they had sex, or the first time some girl pays attention to them, and in a relationship, they're very good, and they get hurt a lot when the girl leaves them, because girls at such ages are finding themselves being so popular among all the other young men at the same age, and therefore they and they still don't know what they're looking for or who they are themselves, so it breaks up. And usually boys at that age, 17, 18, 19 and 20, they get hurt pretty bad. But about age 20, they learn that at age 21, 22 or so, they learn that there are other opportunities that they want to explore, and they get more attention. Like the girls used to make attention at lower age, and now they get attention at this higher age from other girls. And they want to try, they want to have sex, and they think that to be a top dog, an alpha male, is just to have more girls. So they don't mind to break it up and go and find somebody else. So that's the mentality of it. So at this age, you should expect that, okay, he could have many reasons. I don't know what the reason is, and it's not necessarily what I'm saying, but could be the fact that he's at the age that he wants to explore more, and that's okay. That doesn't diminish anything from you. It has got nothing to do with you, your qualities, your wonderfulness, your amazingness, none of that. It just tells that's the stage he is, like the stage that the girls are from that age 18, 19, 20, that they think they're just all that. They become, they get lots of attention, and 22, 23, 24. The girls become even more and more sure of themselves the older they get, up to a certain age. And so they don't give a damn, really. They break up with guys more often than the guys break up with them. But in this particular bracket of the age, he may be that he's just feeling that it's time for him to see what else is out there. Not necessarily about you, it's about him and his stage of being. So what I'm trying to tell you is that don't worry about it. It's not selfish. You're thinking correctly. It's okay. And you will have other young men interested in you, and he will have other opportunities, and that's okay. That's part of the stage of life. So it's not selfish. Take care of yourself, and it's all right. And don't worry about the ego or whatever. You're still as good, and he's still whoever he is. And you just guys don't hit it off at this age, and that's okay. Let it go and move on, and you'll find great comfort and happiness again, and lots of attention will come to you again. Don't worry about it. And Sophie says, I'm also afraid I won't find some. Don't be afraid. I have this much chemistry with. Oh, that's quite nonsense, Sophie. You, how many people have you met that you felt, oh, this is the only one that I can have this chemistry with? No, you will have chemistry with so many, because there's so many wonderful guys out there that you will meet, but you can't expect to meet them all at this age now, just to be sure that, oh, there will be other ones that I will, hit it off in chemistry-wise, chemically. No, you will, but you're still young. You're just 21. Wait, finish your education, focus on your life, build yourself, accomplish yourself more, and you will become far more sought after once you're accomplished, educated, and you got a good job, and you are capable, and you're, self-sufficient, independent, and that's what attracts a lot more quality young men towards you, because you have made something out of yourself. And you also would feel much more confident that you don't feel like you got to say okay to every Tom, Dick, and Harry come along. You will qualify them. Who's this guy? What is his education? What is his job? What does he do? What is his mentality? Not that, oh, this is a guy, okay, yeah, chemistry, okay, good. He's good looking or whatever. That's it. No, you got to have more expectations from a boyfriend that you want to commit into a good relationship. So there will be. That what you just said has no basis. You will have many other people that you will find chemistry. Even right now, you don't even know about your own chemistry. So how can you expect to have found the right guy which has really good chemistry with you? Your chemistry is still developing. So in a few years, you will know more about yourself, and then you know what to expect from your partner. And then when you meet someone, you will look for real matching chemistries, not just a surface limited amount. And that's when you will begin to see how wonderful and what higher quality relationships awaited you, which you fret for it for no reason. Somebody says, this old man knows nothing. You can be happy and you don't need to worry of your friends. So I guess Onisim can simply join another live chat if he doesn't enjoy this interaction. All right, let's go to Natalie. Natalie says, after breaking up, I turned to practicing self-love. sleep, meditate. All right. We don't like people who are disrespectful. Let me put this guy on timeout a little bit so he will. All right. All right. Natalie says, after breaking up, I turned to practicing self-love, sleep, meditate, walking long distances, taking care of my health, etc. So much in a better position. And a few days ago, I realized I don't need them. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. All right. Let's see. M.A. says, Mr. Mehran, I have chronic fear from poverty. Who doesn't? I'm not enjoying my life anymore and just keep saving money. 29 male from the Arab world. Honestly, I didn't think there's going to be anyone who's poor in Arab world. I just maybe don't have the right understanding. I was always under the impression that there's so much provided by the government to Arab citizens of the Arab world from the resources that is available in that neck of the wood. So I never thought poverty would be a concern there. But obviously my knowledge is so limited about how things work in your country. But regardless of what, says, I'm not enjoying my life anymore and just keep saving money. You see, I don't know how much money you make and how much expenses you have, what things you think you should not spend your money on, what things you should be saving or what things you should be spending. So I really can't be that helpful because I don't know detail. But in general, the question would be, what are you making the money for? Are you living to make money, or are you making money to live? If you're living to make money, you're wasting your life. Because no matter how much money you have, it's like saying, if I keep my money, I'm also will be fed. Well, you got to spend your money to turn the money into something that you need, which is food, fruits, things that you need, hygiene, clothing, so you won't be cold, so medicine, doctors, attention. This is what the money is for. So you got to be spent. You make something to use it. Why do you buy something? You buy a car and then you don't use it? You provide yourself with some kind of, I don't know, chair, you won't sit on it? Everything has a use when you try to attain it. Money the same. You work, you make efforts, so you get money. Now you don't want to use the money? What did you try to get it for then? So you need the money, and you can't use the money unless you use the money. In other words, money sitting there doesn't do anything for you unless you use it. You get the benefit of the money unless you use it. Now, I'm not saying go and splurge and, throw it all around. But I'm saying for things that brings you joy and happiness, and you can afford it within your budget, set a budget, and then you can simply enjoy the money that you made. Why not? All right. MA says, Mehran, okay, we talked about that, all right. Okay, Natalie says, though with this feeling also came emptiness. Oh, with the feeling that you think you don't need him. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, when you think you don't need him anymore, that means there's nobody else available for you to need either. That's not the case. You're just saying this clothing doesn't fit you. Doesn't mean that you don't want to find other suitable clothing for you. This handbag, you don't need it anymore. Doesn't mean you don't need another handbag. This car, you don't need it anymore. Doesn't mean you don't need transportation. You can still get a transport. You can take a taxi or take a bus. So it simply means you don't need him, not that you don't need or you believe that there's no one else that you could need or you find. You don't need someone who didn't need you, or at least that's how he behaved. And that's okay. But it's not the end of your need, and it's not the end of opportunities that exist out there and availability of more qualified and matching individuals. So, and Natalie says, I don't have to prove him anything anymore. Does this emptiness means that I moved on for good? You don't have to prove anything to him anymore. You don't have to prove anything to him ever. Even when you're with him, you got to prove things to yourself. You got to live according to the standards that you think it's mutually beneficial for both of you, and you feel that's appropriate for a relationship, and that's how you conduct yourself. It's not about proving something, so therefore you become a toy into the hands of that person. So you will just try to do what he says in order to prove to him that you're worthy according to his expectations rather than according to decent expectations that you have of yourself for building a relationship. So don't be sucked in that you have to prove yourself to anybody. You have to prove yourself to yourself based on how you see life and what the needs are in that life to build what you're setting out to build. And it's not an emptiness. It's not an emptiness. It's just in a space for you to allow somebody else and something else to come and find space there. Take your attention for it. Now, Gerald says, hi Mehran, I love it when you express yourself to us, especially when you get mad at us. We appreciate that cause we appreciate that cause we are all so stubborn and seem to can't get out of thinking about our ex. Yes, that is a big problem. That you simply, it has a lot to do with the question that I posed to you guys earlier, and nobody has commented on it, which is, why do you believe your thoughts? Why do we believe our thoughts? There is the answer to many of your questions. Thought is just that. Thought. Thought is not an actuality. Thought wants to replace the actuality, often tries and succeeds, replaces the actuality of things. And you believe your thoughts. Why do you believe your thoughts? That's what I want you guys to think about, and we can discuss it the next time. I'm not going to go into it now. Natalie says, thank you very much. You're quite welcome, dear. I'm delighted that it was helpful to you.